In this video, we have been given an incomplete histogram and an incomplete frequency table, and we are asked to complete both of them. Now, when we're working with histograms, we are going to be using the formula frequency density is equal to frequency divided by class width. Now, we can rearrange this formula to give either frequency or class width equals. So because I need to complete a frequency table, I am just going to rearrange this to give frequency is equal to frequency density multiplied by class width. Now, the class width is the distance between each group in our frequency table or each bar on our histogram. Okay, and the frequency density is what we use on the y-axis for a histogram. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have a look at my histogram and my frequency table and see which group I've got all of the data for, and that would be the first bar and the first row in the table. So between the weights of 0 and 2, I've got the frequency is equal to 40. Now if I was to work out the frequency density for this group, I would do the frequency divided by the class width. So I would do 40 divided by 2, which gives me 20. Now what that tells me is the height of this bar must be equal to 20. And from there I can actually work out what my scale is. So I can see that 5 big squares are equal to 20. So each of those squares must be going up in 4s. So I can now pop on my scale for the rest of the axes. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to calculate the frequency densities for the two frequencies that I've got in my table. So for between 3 and 4, I've got 24 divided by 1. So this is going to be equal to 24. And for the next one, I've got 18 divided by 1. So this is going to be 18. So I can now draw these bars. So between 3 and 4, I need a height of 24. So I'm going to draw that. Now with a histogram, we need to make sure that all the bars are touching because this is continuous data. And for my bar between 4 and 5, I've got a height of 18. So that's going to go right there. So lastly, I just need to complete my frequency table. So I'm going to calculate the frequency from each bar. So between the 2 and 3, my height of my bar is 34. So 34 times 1 is 34. And lastly, my end bar is 3 wide and 4 high. So 3 times 4 is 12. So there's my final frequency.